All right, and we are back with more Degen Hour action with Mash running Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter.
Oh, this is an interesting game, all right.
Alright, let me know when you're ready.
Coming up next is not Doshin the Giant, just FYI.
I should
probably change that.
What is the first run of the day, dude? Shit, where's my schedule? I believe it's actually gonna be Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, so shoutouts to Super Mario Odyssey. That's not the one I want. I want the 16:9 layout. Coming up next is Super Mario. Should make it say not Degen Hours. There we go. Alright.
Gotta change the game. Unless you changed it and I just haven't refreshed.
I did not change the game. So I gotta edit the screen title and make it,
This looks like a really good game.
It's a really good game, actually.
Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter.
Unfortunately, we're skipping all the funny cutscenes, but that's fine. They're narrated all in Japanese, by the way. Not yet.
Okay, cool.
But, yeah, all the in-game audio is all Japanese, just FYI. They only translated the text, and the text is in English.
Oh, beautiful.
So it's, like, full of interesting translation mistakes.
Alright.
Just making sure things are the same. Oh, by the way, does chat want different colored blood? Because that's a thing.
Oh God,
we have black.
I hope chat wants
we have blood. Red, which is default, right? We have black, we have white, we have green, we have pink, we have. You know what? We're just doing white.
I was gonna say you should make it pink for Encounter Kaine.
I'm fine with that.
Pink,
yeah.
Pink blood.
Yeah, Kaine was the first to say a blood
Kaine
color.
was the first to say it.
All right.
I'm biased, but I think that's a good idea.
Oh, and blood's adhesive, so you'll see what happens with that.
What?
Yeah.
So like glue things together?
Yeah, you'll see.
I'll see. Monka S.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Let me get my finger over the button. All right, 3, 2,
yep.
1, and you go. Go.
Oh, also, every loading screen does say the name of the game in a different way from every single character.
Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter.
So get used to that.
How loose does this game get?
So we're doing the prologue mission, which is just literally kill zombies.
Wait, what's the rest of the game?
Kill more zombies, but with interesting twists.
Kill more, but with a twist.
So this is just High School or High School of the Dead video game version?
BRB?
Sure. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, these guys are crawling. They're not supposed to be crawling. Oh, hi. So I have a particular loadout on that I use. It's probably some of the stronger school-issued weapons.
Uh-huh.
But we're just gonna keep plowing through these really short missions until we get to some of the interesting bosses that we have to fight. And there's a mechanic in the game which I'll explain a bit later when we get to it.
Perfect.
So we're switching characters throughout the run. Each character has unique attributes, stats, and properties. They essentially all basically do everything the same except for their health, HP, stamina, all that stuff is very much different. So we have to make it to our destination. And I'm playing one of the fastest characters. So all we have to do is run down to the objective markers, which is what we're doing right now. And this door's in my way. But we're in a school filled with zombies. I don't know how the zombies got here, but this is a spin-off game related to Anishimbara. And that was the mission. That was that simple. I literally just had to run to the objective. You don't have to actually kill anything. So every character I put in a different outfit, and they're all wearing different colored underwear. We'll get to that later. So there's only 5 chapters of this game, so it's actually not very long at all, and each chapter, like I said, is pretty damn fast. If you know what you're doing, there's a couple chapters where you have to do some, like, item collecting. But if you know where you're going, it's not too bad. And all the cutscenes are skippable. So we have to make it to our destination yet again. But now we have red walls popping up, impeding our progress. So we're just going to cancel a reload. And it actually still performs a reload while rolling. And it just speeds it up. So that's a mechanic in the game. And you can also do that while you're sprinting if you do it right. Now we have a bunch of guys showing up behind us. We also have equipment loadout, so we have more than just this SMG, but obviously it shoots faster, so that's what we're going to use. So the early stage levels are not even that complex. But, yeah, there are... Shoutouts to our girl over there wearing the maid outfit. Or school nurse outfit. And I'm wearing... this character is wearing the classic Anishimbara skin. Which is amazing. I need to remember to do a roll into a dash. So Risa is probably my favorite girl. That's the character we were just playing as. Risa is just awesome. She's super nice, super gentle. We do have a character in the party that she's basically your I'm the queen bee girl. We don't play as her that often, but she has some interesting dialogue in some of the cutscenes. So I haven't swapped weapons yet, but I'll have to at later stages, just because enemies become a bit more of a bullet sponge, and obviously we need more stopping power. So we have things like shotguns, rocket launchers, that kind of stuff. So in this stage, we just have to eradicate all the enemies. Pretty straightforward. So there's a mechanic in this game where enemies will drop guns, potentially, when they die. So it's very much like EDF in that sense, with equipment upgrading. So if you ever played any of those games, it's got a very similar feel to it, except for instead of like giant insects destroying a town, they're destroying your school. So we're just trying to eliminate as many of them as possible. And these guys kind of have random spawns, so we're just doing our best to avoid that situation. So I always want to be trying to move around as fast as possible. Obviously going to where the enemies are, reload canceling with the... as much as possible. And since this gun has pretty fast reload, we're okay.
Alright, I think I'm gonna drop out of voice chat and let you guys finish this off strong.
Yeah.
Alright.
By the way, if you guys do want to see a very awesome cutscene at the end, you guys should probably keep donating.
Yeah.
There is a very worthwhile cutscene.
More donation, good donation.
Worth showing off for those real degenerates.
Later, everybody.
Later.
Have a good morning.
Have a good morning, Rod. Have a good night as well.
I will.
Now we're in the gym. This is when we meet that other character that I mentioned, but we already have all the characters unlocked. In New Game Plus, you're not forced to place particular characters. In New Game, you would be. So we'd only be playing certain characters for each stage until we unlock them for the later stages. Where is the other guy? There he is.
Shoutouts to getting crane skip on my first try, finally.
Nice.
Now for me to... I failed silo skip like 3 times, but... I got it. Let's see how long it takes me to do bridge.
So this game actually doesn't have really long loading screens or any of that jazz. I'm also playing on a PS4 Pro, so maybe that helps a little bit, but generally not too bad with this game. The other games, like in the Onishibara series, are pretty notorious for having really long load screens. To the point where the first Onishibara game that was released in the West, called Samurai Bikini Slayers, I believe, is the full title. That one actually has notoriously long loading screens that have a 50-50 of crashing, especially playing on the OG Xbox 360s, because it sprite overloads on the screen for some reason. I'm not sure why it does that, but it does. And it gets even worse for playing 2-player. Anyways, we're trying to collect card keys and avoiding the exploding eggs, because that's not fun. And so every floor here has a key that we need to get. If I remember where all of them are.
Shoutouts to me not being able to pod spin. Still can't fucking do it, dude. Just let me practice this skipping peas.
I messed something up. Oh yeah, we missed going up the stairs over here. So we can actually push zombies out of the way by rolling into them, which is kind of nice. I actually forget where I'm supposed to be going. Oh, obviously up the stairs again. Now I remember. Oh my, why is she panting? Where are we going? There's the last card key. Man, she is like really heavy breathing. I didn't realize that. Yeah, so while we're playing the characters, there's actually an in-game timer going down. It's not useful for actually timing the speedrun, but there's an in-game timer for every time we load up a mission and start moving around, like as soon as you gain control for every single character. And there's a reason for that I'll get to later. But essentially, it's very important when doing the speedrun because it's linked to the cutscene that I mentioned. But I always set up a New Game Plus file ahead of time, so I don't need to show the cutscene at the beginning of the run or at later points. I can show it right at the end. So that's useful. Alright, so now we have to defend our base. We have a radio here, transmitting device that's allowing us to contact the police department or the rescue team that's supposedly going to eventually come save us from the school invasion. But, you know, apparently that takes a long time. So somehow a band of schoolgirls, the only living things still left in the school that haven't been turned, are to literally defend the school until they show up and save them. I mean, that's kind of what is implied, but I never...
Hey, Rod. Finish what you were saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you were done.
It's okay. You can go. We have 2 minutes of sitting here shooting stuff.
Oh, I was gonna say I did the thing again, I guess, where I, like, was walking near Lava Skip and spawned the fucking Mark Storm cutscene somehow.
Oh, so one mechanic that we can do is since PlayStation has a touchpad and there's a mechanic tied to it. Oh yeah, now we're naked. Enjoy. So there's a reason for that, and now all the zombies are going to go right to the clothing, as you can see. So they're just going to try to ignore us for a duration. And, you know, what's better than having one than you can have all of them. So yeah, that's a beautiful mechanic. Thank you to the devs that decided that that was important enough to have. Don't worry, they're not actually naked. We're wearing tomatoes and lettuce. I don't know why that was an option, but that's an option. I swear, I'm playing this game for the gameplay. Played this game way too many times to care about anything else, really. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. This is the first of, I believe, 3 defense missions. And if they do end up destroying the radio transmitter, then we do have to restart the entire basically auto-scroller. But we're pretty good at keeping them away, because this is New Game Plus and we're pretty OP. And the pink blood, obviously, is just, like, everywhere when you're shooting things. So, thanks Kanye for choosing pink blood. That's the base defense. So we skipped these submissions because we don't want to do them. So now we're gonna do what Maya's plan is. I believe that involves getting food. Yeah, this loading screen just shows you different weapons with their stats and stuff. Obviously, some of the soundtracks you'll hear in this game are very much Oni Shimbara soundtracks as well. So if you played Z2 Chaos, for instance, which is the sequel, you'll be very familiar with the soundtrack. So I switched to the assault rifle here just because I have more range and it has penetration, which allows me to hit more than one zombie at a time here. This one in particular has penetration. You can tell by ST and P. Every single letter combo that's in the brackets of the weapon's name actually tells you, based on that, what type of weapon it is and what its characteristics are. So in this case, it has a higher damage output as well as penetration to shots. And these green guys actually explode now, so that's going to be a thing in this run. So that gets scary when things start exploding everywhere. But surprisingly, this game has pretty smooth frame rate throughout the entirety of the game. There's only a couple sections where it lags, and it generally only lags when I want it to, which is when I tell them to strip. And we can only do that once, though, for every mission. But there is a secret weapon that we'll use at the very end. Against a, probably I would say the only real boss of this game. But we have these big butcher-looking guys. I don't know where they went, like came from, maybe the school cafeteria, but they definitely are not friendly. Where's the last guy? There he is. Perfect.
Oh yeah, there is Rod G's $5 for Mash's beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Toward the blindfold. Sick.
Yeah, get those incentives met.
Yeah, Intoner Kayane is attempting to donate, but the link isn't working from Speed Run. So I believe they're gonna donate on the GoFundMe. So I will probably have to do some editing if they want to donate towards anything.
Yeah, the blindfold sounds like it'd be a hell of a fun time to watch.
Yeah, dude, right?
I hope we're getting a cam to actually see them blindfolded.
So my friend James just woke up because he has to go to work, and he saw my post on Facebook about the Nier Replicant announcement, and he's just like, I'm crying, I'm sobbing. It's 7 a.m. and I'm sobbing, and I'm like, oh, here we are.
I was like that a lot when Automata got announced. I was like in tears, to be honest, because it was like 10 years of me playing OG Nier, and I'm like, it'd be nice to see them do more with the series, and then it eventually happened, and I'm like, oh my god. But it was like dead of midnight when I found out, so it was like, I can't deal with this, I just got home from work. I was very, very salty earlier about a lot of things, but I'm feeling much better.
Shoutouts to me not being able to fit, brought to you by Drakengard is my file name.
Damn.
Or the fish percent attempt I'm doing just to practice more.
Yeah. So the current mission we're doing is literally just a survival mission. It's pretty much a base defense, but without the objective to lose. Like, if we die, it's okay.
Are you in just a bikini?
I'm in Kagura's outfit from Onishimara. Staple outfit. Or not, well, yeah, this is particularly Kagura's outfit. There's different outfits, but every single character is dressed differently. So Maya here is dressed in the classic schoolgirl gym outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only have 2 characters in this mission. She's pretty low health. She's just getting knocked around, but we're doing okay. I might need to throw a trap here to kind of keep her safe. She kind of does actually is useful for this mission because she does help me kill things a little faster. But I mean, we're on a timer,
that's
so
fine.
it doesn't
I
make
know the GoFundMe will still be up for a little bit, so you can always donate afterwards if you'd like. Just save that link.
So yeah, in every stage too, there's collectibles for the most part, and then there's also hidden crows around the level that you can shoot to unlock other rewards and complete side missions. And I've actually already done these all on New Game Plus, and they're not repeatable too, so you kind of would have to do them on a New Game run in order to redo those. It's the only way you could actually do it. That's a whole different category that basically no one's decided to be in because it's like really stupid. But it's a thing, and at some point I might actually decide to do it. Alright, so...
Blindfold's wild, dude.
Yeah. Alright, I got poison there, it's fine. Yeah. So, Maya there got incapacitated. I do have a way to revive her using items, but, I mean, why waste my items? And yes, there is another thing that you don't get to see. If the clothes are on the characters and I don't strip them off, they do take damage, so eventually they just break, so that I can't use them. They, the clothes in this game actually count as armor, believe it or not, so...
does it? I don't fucking know, dude.
So yeah, me stripping the characters as to use them as a bait trap actually removes all armor, so I don't have any damage reduction. So it's actually a trade-off. Alright, so this is just an eradicate mission, but now we have these weird centipede-looking dudes. I don't know if you've seen the movie Centipede, but like they're sewn at the torso to each other with ball gag masks on. I don't know what to say about these enemies. It's just really weird. They're really creepy. I don't like them, and they do a lot of damage. And we're just going to all different parts of the school right now to deal with these guys. Oh my, there's just like pink blood everywhere. It looks more like a purple though, if you look at it, but maybe it's just because it's on the carpet. Yeah, Maya's getting really wrecked right now. Wow, these guys are being really aggressive. Alright, there's 26 enemies left. We're gonna go and throw this over there. Kinda keep them occupied for a little bit. They last about 15-20 seconds, give or take. That was a really fast 15 seconds. I guess they destroyed it. Didn't think they could despawn like that. Whatever, that happens. Apparently they're just more interested in us than the scent of our clothing. Wow, this is actually a long loading screen. Took a whole extra few seconds than normal.
Schoolgirl, zombie hunter.
Alright, so making it to our destination. Which apparently I'm going the wrong way for. Alright, so careful with explodey eggs. You could use the explodey eggs to do like damage boosts, but I mean... Nope, didn't do it. Okay, so what I was trying to do with that egg is time a roll at the same time that the egg explodes and basically makes you invincible because rolling has iframes, but they're very, very short windowed. Ow. Okay, we need to be really, really careful. There we go. So even on New Game Plus, with the characters having their max capacity of health, you can die pretty easily, and since I'm playing technically the weakest character, being that she is the fastest, I can die pretty easy to any of the explosions. So generally like 3, maybe 4 explosions that I'm dead, depending on if I'm wearing clothes or not. So somehow, now we're traveling to a secret underground facility under the school, where there's a lot of zombie experimentation going on. I don't know how a whole school got built on top of this, but I guess it's a good way for them to disguise what they're doing. So right there, we just showed off the iframes for the rolling. So in this level, there's going to be a lot of enemies just continuously spawning. I don't have to kill all of them, just certain enemies. But I do have another partner here. And now our way is open. Drop down here, dodge the exploding egg. Now we have Schoolgirl zombies that are going to be chasing us. And so fun fact, every other zombie in the game is distracted very briefly by us tossing our clothes. The Schoolgirl zombies are not, for obvious reasons. We're just gonna clear our way. All the enemies come up here. Where are they? There they are. Alright, so that was the last one we needed there. We can continue on here. There'll be a couple more rooms to clear. I believe there's just one more at the end of the hallway, though. Gonna kite around as many of these guys as possible. Alright, so a bit of a scarier room. This is kinda... Ooh. That was an exploding guy. Okay. Oh wow, there's like lots of guys in the way. There we go. Yeah, so not only do they explode in poison, fire, or just regular explosions, they all do damage to me. They all remove points of armor off my clothing, and then ultimately makes me weaker. I think I covered pretty much all the mechanics except for like one, which is not relevant. Yeah, there's a cutscene at the beginning and end of every mission, believe it or not. So this makes this game incredibly long if you watch them all. So, one character that we're constantly talking to, using those radio transmissions, is a character called Anna. She's the one character that is playable in the original Onishambara that was released in the West, as well as a side character that you just talk to mainly in Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter Z2, or sorry, in Onishambara Z2. She's my favorite character actually in the series. Because what's better than a awesome undercover, well, not undercover, but special forces agent who his literal job is to stop phenomenons, which is like the ZDP or something like that. Donate bits actually won't count towards anything. Unfortunately, if you donate here, it'll just go to supporting the NASA Marathon.
Shoutouts to the fact that this game is actually in TOS for some reason.
Yeah, it's not in TOS, believe it or not. None of the games I speedrun are on the list, and I've played them for many, many years.
I know, I'm laughing that this is not flagged somehow.
Oh, it doesn't break any of the rules.
Yeah, I know. They're still fully clothed. It's just funny.
Yeah.
That lettuce counts.
The lettuce and the tomatoes, yeah. There's a similar outfit in Z2 where it's just 2 strawberries on the nipples and a banana between the legs. So, it's a glorious outfit. It's so good. But you get an extreme close-up in that version of the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and when you add the white blood to it, it just makes it more ridiculous.
Perfect. I can't believe this game falls in TOS.
The white Z2 has a weird thing with the blood where it actually sticks to the character's body. So you'll be going through levels with blood just splattered all over you, and if you change the color of the blood, it just looks really funny in some of the cutscenes, because
Thanks for the bits, Kaide. I know that NASA will appreciate the support, because they're awesome.
Yeah, everything that NASA has been doing for the years has been great, and they've been a great bunch of people to organize marathons with over the years. If you're interested in doing so, they're more than happy to lend a hand, help you out with whatever it is that you need help with. Such as, you know, hosting a marathon such as this one that has been going very well for everybody involved, and super happy to have done my fair share of helping out.
Yeah.
Even if that means slugging it through the degen hours.
We are in degen hours, man. Look, in my personal opinion, these degen hours have been some of the best of the stream.
Yesterday's degen hours were amazing.
Big fucking word.
It was...
Tonight's degen hours were just a fucking train wreck and a fucking wild roller coaster of emotion.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can agree to that one. Also, did I mention the menuing in this game is actually really on point? Like, look how fast I can skip all that stuff. This game technically apparently reads inputs, like, even before they show up, so if I'm just spamming, you can actually just do what I was just about to do there and select the wrong character. Because it doesn't matter if the cursor's on the thing or you can't see what's on the screen, you can still mash your way through all the text and stuff.
Nice.
So if I'm fast enough, I'd actually skip cutscenes before they actually start up. And all the cutscenes are preloaded with the game's loading of the level. So on this mission, we're gonna make it to the roof. So welcome to the roof. There's gonna be an enemy that shows up here to block my way. We're gonna kill him and go on down. He explodes. We're gonna go down the staircase from the roof here to get to where our objective is and kill these enemies in the way. There's gonna be some exploding guys down here. We're gonna be careful of these guys. Not very fond of them exploding in my face. But if you're lucky enough, sometimes what I do is I set one up right near the end of the top of the stairs there, and I'll damage boost my way down from the explosion because it just accelerates you so fast that sometimes you'll just smash right into a wall. So that's also useful if you can manage to do stuff like that. For some reason I'm crying, I don't understand.
Probably because you haven't blinked in like 10 minutes.
Maybe.
I know I'm starting to have that issue because I'm like staring at this fucking bridge, trying not to miss inputs on bridge skip.
I swear, it's impossible to not blink. I swear that's a thing. Like you're forced to blink. All right, so now we have to make our way up to our destination. I don't know why we're just running all around this place, but we're like scavenging for stuff and that, but we don't know any of this obviously because we're skipping all the cutscenes. But the dialogue in this game is really funny. It's all in Japanese though, unfortunately, so basically no one understands it. But what makes it really great is the English dialogue translations. That's what really sets it apart. Can you please just get out of my way? Okay, apparently I went the wrong way for some reason. Congratulations, Mash. You forgot which way to go. We're just still hurting.
I'm like chill, just sitting here and practicing. I'd just like to be able to do it consistently. Like, I genuinely can't tell if the reason I'm like struggling so much with it is just because my inputs are lagging because I'm tired, or if I'm just garbage at the game.
Maybe a combination, but I mean, no one's garbage. They just have to improve and get better, right? So everybody's got to start somewhere.
I pissed off half the chat apparently earlier. I don't know. I think this was part of the time that you were gone.
Oh, I was still here.
Oh, the silo skip thing?
Yeah.
Where like 3 people were angry because I learned silo skip in like 20 minutes, not even.
Yeah. All right, so we are fighting what we like to refer to as the copy zombie. This is actually a pretty tough fight because she's really fast. But basically, there's zombie clones of us, and this is just one of them. So obviously, there's one for every character in this game. So we're using the shotgun because it's the only weapon that apparently can stun her if I can get shots off. But obviously, she's just being really not nice. But we do have a melee weapon. I keep forgetting that we do have that, so we can probably just use that to knock her back. The shotguns are like really slow to reload, but I mean, it's useful. And the melee weapon doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, but it could be useful. Oh, wow, we're both missing. There we go. So, surprisingly, I have a really long, the weapon looks like it should have, like, long and wide range, but it just doesn't. It only hits right in front of me in, like, a small cone. And headshots do more damage, so if I can nail the headshots on her, it's a lot more useful.
Alright, I got up the bridge, but I fucked up the pod shit. Round 4.
Oh, she destroyed my armor. Alright, well, she's dead. It's fine. So triple S is
Rod G donated $5 saying this is for Interno. This is for Kaine. So looks like Kaine was able to get their $5 in.
Yeah, Rod's a sweetheart.
I absolutely adored hanging out with Red tonight. Oh my gosh. Hello. Thank you for the raid, Asylum CB. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our early morning ending of DGen hours while we wait for the real content to start. You have arrived just in time for a run of Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter by MASH.
Indeed, we are. Alright, so 3 card keys.
Hello, hello.
Lots of guys in this little tight room. Trying to reload weapons.
The links. What we got going on?
Oh yeah, we have to go up 1 floor. Got the other card key up here, which is conveniently at the end of this hallway over here. Or, wait, no. This one.
Why do I keep fucking that up? I need to not double jump off the bridge.
And now we have to go back down. So the reason we go up 1 floor then down is because the room that we get locked in over here is just much easier to end on. This guy just goes out of the way, but mission complete. We don't have to actually fight these guys. So if you get locked into this room with all of these guys, it's just much harder to clear this room and then go all the way back up. So that's why we try to end the mission on that one by getting the last key card. It took me a few different times to like figure out what was the fastest way to do that mission, just because you 3 key cards, obviously you start on 1 floor with one of them. So now we're doing another Maya mission. Maya doesn't call the zombies zombies, she calls them zomzoms. She's just adorable that way. I don't know if she just doesn't know how to speak very well or not, but she talks in like girly gibberish that most people just wouldn't understand, I guess. But everybody else seems to understand perfectly fine. Alright, so we have to clear this entire room of guys that spawned behind us. Like I said, we're gonna try to do fast reloads by dodging into a roll. And while you're sprinting, as you can see, the reload bar is just much faster. I'm not sure why that works exactly, it just does. But yeah, if you roll and sprint and then initiate a reload while you're doing that, which you don't normally have the ability to do since you're just strafing when you have your gun out or being used. Alright. Doing good so far. So one thing I constantly try to do is hold down the sprint key. It just makes it easier. And by doing so, anytime I need to dodge, I can actually just dodge. But yeah, like I said, like, I don't know what it is, but just sprinting and trying to do a reload just makes everything so much faster. Are we missing a guy somewhere? There he is. Alright, mission down. So you guys may not know this, but this game does have multiplayer. It was listed at the start screen there as multiplayer. Multiplayer is more or less a mission-based survival mode. Again, very much familiar, similar to EDF games. So just imagine EDF, but with Schoolgirls for some reason. That's just a thing with this game. I'm not sure where they were going with it, but very similar line of titles from developers from Japan that may or may not have their hands in some of the EDF stuff. I believe this next mission is a boss. He's a really big hulking guy. Does a lot of damage. There's not really any way to iframe him, or to, Oh no, it isn't. It's, the refight with the zombie clones. Wow, I got everything messed up. It's the next, yeah, the next boss fight is them. Yeah. So these characters are really annoying, so just get used to them just spouting nonsense. And also, for whatever reason, I could just, like, back up and shoot him like this, and it, for some reason, just does some weird things with them. Like, stutter stepping them for some reason, even though they're not stun locked or anything. It stutter steps them, because I think they're trying to do... I think this has some sort of knockback to them. But it seems to only do it if you're hitting them in the head, and you're using a strong enough weapon. And since this gun doesn't actually have knockback, I'm not sure why it's doing it, but it seems to only do it with high damage weapons. And since the SMG isn't high damage enough, it's just fire, like, faster fire rate. It doesn't really help too much. So all I'm hoping for is that the boss won't be too much of a pain in the butt when we get to him at the very end of the game. Because the last boss of the game is called Ren. Is the big boss reveal in this game, and apparently he's orchestrating the whole attack on the school. He can be a bit of a pain in the butt because he's just relentless, and you'll see why when we get to him. But we have a secret weapon. It's the only thing that works on him. Alright, so we have the other two girls that we didn't see earlier, and they're also fighting their doppelgangers. This particular doppelganger, or Reese, for the main character, has tentacle arms, so that's great. She's the stronger of them all. Alright, so she's down, and now we can kill Maya's clone, which for some reason almost always goes for Maya. Alright, we got good. Good. She was focused on Maya, so we got behind her and just destroyed her health bar. As I see it, like, yeah, I was just skipping I skipped the cutscene before it even loaded in. I also skipped, like, by smashing, I skipped all of the, like, mission complete stuff that happened, because, like, it's all pre-loaded for then. So we're coming up near the end of the game as well. So we got another set of chapters to go through, and then it's over after we finish up these last few for this one. We still have one more base defense mission to go through as well. Alright, so in this mission, we have to destroy all the impurity gates, which are apparently summoning all of the demonic forces. So we're going to use the assault rifle, which has the range and damage we need. Shotgun has more damage, but it's just way too slow. And I should be able to get every single purity gate if I land all the shots before I run out of ammo. So yeah, jumping that ledge is way easier than trying to go around. You just have to remember that after you jump, you are very slow for a few seconds, so you need to time in a roll, because that egg there would have exploded and sent me flying. Now, the other thing is, I'm going to jump behind here, because for whatever reason, the zombies actually can't get behind these benches that encircle this tree. So basically, it's just free. So you just do that. For that section there. And so we rounded up all the gates at the schoolyard, and now we're going to go inside here and take out this impurity gate. And since we have penetration shots, it doesn't matter if these guys try to body block me. Try not to explode with them. And that's the end of that chapter. But yeah, having penetration on at least one gun in your arsenal is super important when you're trying to line up and kill lots of enemies or a particular target. Whoa, fuck my life, did I really miss this game? It's not over. I still got like a whole small bit left to go. But you're back just before we get to the important bit, which is the end of the game and possibly the best cutscene in the game. The only one that matters. It's very short, but it's sweet, it's subtle, and it's totally on the line of TOS. Game's content is strictly focused around killing zombies, so that's what we're going with.
Yeah,
all right.
Did you see my message that I left you?
All right, so this mission-based defense is actually really hard because it's only just you, the character. You don't have any party members. You have to survive the entire 3 minutes on your own. And if this wasn't New Game Plus, this would be really, really hard because you're under-leveled severely. This game expects you to replay a lot of levels, get good gear as you progress through, or else a lot of the fights become incredibly dangerous and very risky, and that's where having items is useful. But since this New Game Plus, you don't really use any items except for one at the very end, which is obtained from a cutscene. And the requirements for that is obviously have racked up 30 minutes of in-game playtime. And it's very easy to do in a single run, as you should hit that timer before like 3/4 of the run is done. So we'll meet another enemy later as well. That walks on the ceiling, and he like has like basically I call him Licker 2.0. If you played Resident Evil games, you have a good idea, if you know what a Licker is, what this enemy may look like or do. Like, it's basically that, but instead of having a tongue, he has a really, really long neck, and he like extends his neck to hit you with his head. So that's a thing. Any glowing red zombies are stronger than non-glowing zombies. And if they're red, that means they're berserked or highly aggressive, and they will just relentlessly pursue you, and if they hit you, they deal double damage. Where did you come from? I don't even know where she came from. That's crazy. Alright, so we're good. I was a little worried there with the green exploding zombie getting so close, but we're good. How does this game compare to EDF? I mean, the new EDFs are really, really good. This game is just much better than some of the other ones. But, I mean, best EDF is obviously EDF 2K, right? EDF 2K has a weapon in it that you unlock that's basically a one-shot. And it blows everything up on the map, including yourself. I don't know why you would ever use it, but it would literally destroy everything on the map, including yourself, unless you're high enough up off the ground that it just doesn't do that to you. So it's basically a suicide gun. I don't understand why it exists in the game, but if you're playing in like co-op, for instance, in a session, having one person use it isn't a bad thing, because at least the other person will survive. Yeah, the genocide gun. Getting that gun is really hard, actually, because you have to play on Inferno. So this is another mission where we're just trying to eradicate the zombies to collect the school supplies there in that crate. That's constantly... See, the thing is, I don't understand. They're dropping off all these supplies for us from the rescue team. But they refuse to land and pick us up. If they have the time to drop this crate off, why can't they just, like, extend a rope and pick us up? Like, I don't understand. The logics in these games don't make a whole lot of sense, but it's very humorous and just... It's just funny. So we have some big boys here. All the missions in this game are timed, so you do have a clock. As you can see, I still have about 8 minutes, 30 seconds left to finish up this level. So you do have to be fast. It does promote you to be fast. And all the games have their own in-game timer for all the missions. But since this is an RTA run, it's not really that useful. And it only tracks your best possible time too on the main screen there when you first load it up. But it does tell you at least your finish time for each IL afterwards. So yeah, penetration on these big boys is really nice. Pink blood just seems so odd. I've never used pink blood. I guess they're shooting paintball guns. I'm gonna go with that. So we're almost done with this chapter, and then we get into the real meat and potatoes of the game. But we're back in the underground lab. The best missions in this game are honestly just to get to the destination, because it's literally just get there and kill what you can along the way if you have to. Here we go. Alright, so a bunch of guys spawn here.
Okay, how close are you to time?
I still have one chapter left to do, which shouldn't take too long, but we're getting close.
Okay, I just have to walk across the room and grab my medication because it's 8 AM.
Yeah, you got like 10 minutes maybe.
Oh yeah, sick. Alright, perfect.
So, yeah, just clearing up the enemies so we can get on by here, destroying the exploding eggs whenever possible, so that we don't accidentally trigger them ourselves. Yeah, so we're running around the school, we're collecting data on what's going on, and obviously things aren't looking good. Finally reaching the labs in the underground research base under the school starts making us think, wait, they're cloning all of the people and turning them into zombies. I don't know why they would do that, but that's just what's going on. So now we actually have the boss that I was trying to mention earlier. He's just a big burly guy. he does like some weird charge attacks that have insane knockback. And we're basically just gonna try to avoid getting hit. And not get trapped on any objects. But yeah, he has some pretty insane range. But as I said, when enemies are red, they're just very aggressive. So we're just gonna try to avoid that. He's gonna have different moves like that one that's a little hard to dodge. We're gonna do our best. Yep. So, rolling this game's on a timer, so if I roll too many times too soon, it just doesn't let you. Yeah, like that roll was way too early. But yeah, this particular boss fight is like very, very, very scary on new game runs, just because you're really at risk of dying. Wow, that charge didn't even give me time to dodge it. Alright, done. Got a little low on life, but it's no biggie. Alright, so now we're in the last chapter.
Schoolgirl, zombie hunter.
So in this one, 3-minute survival mission, just run around. Try not to die. Like to trigger all of the eggs just in case. Yeah, that is our goal, just to run around and survive. So, not a particularly hard mission, since you literally just don't have to do anything, just run around. So this game is very super easy, super friendly to anybody that wants to just try out a silly fun game. Particularly not very expensive either, and this game is ported to Steam and plays very well. So if you did want to get in on the silly fun with this game, maybe check it out. It frequently goes on sale for like dirt cheap anyways. And I think the notorious thing with a lot of these games in the series is that there is a absurd amount of costume DLC, obviously. I can say though that all of the money they make off the costume DLC just goes into more games of large variety of like this. Like, it just goes right back into all of that silly fun stuff. So if you like games that aren't super serious at all, and are just like general fun like EDF, then yeah, go check out those games. I'm a big fan of EDF. I've debated wanting to learn and speedrun a few of them, even the original like 2K one that was first released on 360 10 plus years ago now. That one's just incredibly laggy though, unfortunately. But all the EDF games are notoriously laggy. It's just that one in particular is the worst. But it has the genocide gun, which is great. Yeah. Other interesting thing is there is XP in this game. Characters level up. I'm level 30, max level. I haven't really played much of the multiplayer, unfortunately, because no one seems to play multiplayer. Makes me think, like, you know, how am I ever going to play multiplayer then? They went through all of that effort to add multiplayer and no one plays it. So it just makes me think that just not enough people know about this game. But I'd be down to do multiplayer shenanigans with people at some point in this game. Even silly speedruns with it. But I don't even know what kind of beast multiplayer is, since you have to have a lobby with people in it to be able to do anything. What? I'd never heard her say something like that when we're skipping through those. I think that might be the first time I've ever heard her say something. Alright, so we're on Departure, which is the level where we get told that we're getting ready to leave the school and put an end to this whole situation. So this is the last base defense mission. Haha, I lied. There's actually 4 base defense missions. But at least with this one, we have all of our party members. So we have Maya Sayuri, which is the main character, Enemy, I don't know how to say her name, and then Ri. Or no, Ri's the main character. Sayuri is like the princess of the school kind of character. But yeah, these are like the liquor enemies I was talking about. Super fun. Sometimes I just don't even see them come in the room, and they're just on the walls. Unidentified weapon obtained. Great. Alright, so I threw the clothing trap there, and like I said, the actual Schoolgirl zombies don't go for it, but every other male enemy in the game will. I'm just gonna constantly stagger the rest of the characters, throwing out their clothes as well to pull away aggro from where I'm standing. And I'm doing that simply just by hitting the touchpad. Credits to, like, both this game and Onishibara finding some way to integrate the touchpad into the game, even if it's, like, the silliest way possible. In Onishibara, the touchpad is used for the QTEs, and you have to, like, do directional slashes with it when fighting enemies. For, like, decapitations and such. So, interesting mechanic. Not very nice on a speedrun, since the touchpad is very sensitive, and may or may not like certain motions. It's very particular in the kinds of motions it expects, and then there's times where it just, like, it doesn't care what motion you did. Like, you'll tell you to swipe down, and then I'll swipe up preemptively, and then it just still counts. Because I think all at that point it cares about is where the motion started or ended at. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but sometimes it just works that way. The only ones that I don't like in that game for the motion QTEs are the ones where you have to use both your thumbs or 2 fingers, because you have to do 2 different motions on the touchpad at the same time. I believe in the PC version of that game that also got ported, it's, I believe, simply a keystroke and mouse movement. I forget exactly what it is on that, but I don't play keyboard and mouse on that. I actually just plug in my PlayStation or 360 controller and play the game that way, because it's just way more comfortable and easier to do. Alright, so that was the last contact with Anna from the police rescue force.
Okay.
She's sending help to come save us, and obviously we're getting a little worried. We're getting overrun, and we have to abandon everything. So we're closing in on basically the last part of the game, followed by just a few short missions with a couple boss fights back-to-back.
First news story to pop up on my phone today, because it's now 8 AM, so I'm going to start getting news stories for the day. Near Replicant being remade for PlayStation 4 and Xbox and PC. Shoutouts to Mash's incredible song.
Oh, you should see my tweet.
I should probably follow you on Twitter.
Please do. I do post a lot about content that's going on with communities. you guys are ever interested in anything going on with speedrunning, community-wise, I generally try to get involved with as much cool stuff as possible. I've been spending a lot of time with the Soten community, organizing tournaments and races around the randomizer. We had our first successful big launch tournament that lasted 6 months.
How do you spell your name on Twitter?
It's mash_mx. So that character in that brief little glimpse of the cutscene was Ren. So basically we have 2 more missions to do, which is fight our zombie clones again, because again, they're clones. And then obviously take out Ren, who's the ringleader of this whole shenanigan. So second last mission, another me. It's pretty great.
You're gonna block everybody.
Oh yeah, I was absolutely serious about that.
I'm sorry.
It specifically mentions just not tagging me. Because
yeah.
I can't help it show up in my timeline. If it shows up in my timeline, whatever. Yeah, so this is the last encounter with our zombie clones. But they also brought along friends. This level is a little chaotic, so we're going to strip a little bit here to kind of pull off aggro of the other enemies and just focus down on the characters. Particularly using the assault rifle here so I can line up extra damage on the other characters behind me, or behind the character I'm shooting at. And I'm trapped on the walls here. Okay, so we need to get them out of the way. And always important, aim for the head. Always aim for the head.
Double tap.
Yeah, I gotta double tap that. Well, in this case, I'm just unloading a full clip, but yeah. I don't know where her pockets are for all this ammo, by the way, because I don't have pockets at all on any of the outfits that I'm aware of. I think they're just
a little pack on her back, unless that's a walkie-talkie.
No, that's a walkie-talkie. She's got a belt with a walkie-talkie on it, but there's nothing else on the belt.
Based on the animation for the reload, it's like they are all hidden in her left ass cheek.
Yeah. She's totally pulling them out of her ass cheeks, definitely. I think she'd be hiding them in her bra, but we're not wearing bras, as you can see. We're wearing tomatoes. So. This is a DLC outfit. I did actually spend $4, I believe, on this outfit, and that was because this run was in a previous NASA marathon years ago. And had lots of people interested in it. Don't know why. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you what they were interested in.
Chloe was so mad when he woke up and saw that we were doing this. And he missed it.
I don't think Chloe's really seen this game. He's seen me play Ani Shambara maybe once or twice. At some point, I'll have to do the original Kimi Zombie Slayers. That one had a very surprising end boss fight that I completely forget about every once in a while, but it's just like the ugliest boss fight ever, and then the second phase is just like, damn! That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
That makes you, think long and hard. Alright, so we're at the last boss of the game. Final test. So, yeah, we're going to be fighting Ren. And as I said, Ren's very, very aggressive. He shouldn't be too difficult.
Zombie hunter.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright, so this is Ren. He glows blue, and it's because, like I said, he's immune to knockbacks when he's that color. So we're just going to try to will him down. We're going to stagger out our clothing here. And I'm getting ready this secret ultimate weapon, as you can see down there in my item bar. We'll need it later. But yeah, we're going to try to keep Ren busy as much as possible. Yeah, so we have a 60-second timer on there, which is the max time that you can have on this secret ultimate weapon. And it requires 30 minutes of in-game play time, which is easy to accumulate accumulate across playing all of the main stages. Oh god, surely he's coming in at the wrong moment. This is a good way to end off Legion Hour, to be honest. So other games I've considered playing or speedrunning have been centered on Kogura games. I have a lot of them that I haven't played yet, but I have many of them. Peach Beach Splash, to me, looks like the ultimate Splatoon. It's like the better version of Splatoon. I haven't played it yet, but I will get around to it at some point. I briefly touched on Shinobi a while back. Never got around to actually doing speedruns of it, unfortunately. That was one thing I was planning on doing, but I got caught up with other speedruns at the time and other stuff going on. So Ren is not cooperating really nice. So we're gonna switch the shotgun here to hopefully get some more damage on him. Big aim at the head. And all our other characters are dying. Yeah, Ren, just get distracted by the school clothes, please. Or not. Ren, what are you doing? He's breakdancing again. I don't like it when he breakdances. So the shotgun's actually really good when he gets to this phase and he's just breakdancing because we have spread damage. So if we can just get the spread damage off, it's really, really nice. So I threw the underwear trap. Ren may or may not decide to go for it, but hopefully he does. Wow, he's just being really mean right now. Come on, Ren. Be nice. He's really, really fast. Alright, his health bar is low. Getting close. Okay, come on, Ren. What are you doing? You just standing there? Okay. Or not. Come on, we can do this. I know we're getting close to time. I know that. Mission complete. Time.
1:15:13. You are like right on the dot.
Yeah, it's close. Like, so earlier when I was like forgetting where to go and stuff, that obviously could have made this like much, much better. But that fight always at the end is where you eat all your time. But I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, that was still a really solid run, all things considered. So fun fact, that actually beat my PB by 4 seconds.
Nice. Nice.
Even though it was very sloppy.
Not bad.
I believe the reason why I beat my PB is I have much better improved weapons and loadouts this time around. It's just been a while since I've managed to actually submit a run myself.
Here we go.
But yeah. So super awesome cutscene. The helicopter finally shows up. Finally shows up to rescue us. But we have the all-important cutscene that I think everybody's waiting for. But this outro cutscene here is a little too long, and then it's followed by credits. Obviously, it's really cool. You should always, you know, support your devs and watch the credits at least once for all the people that put hard work into a game. But we're gonna skip the credits here and go right into prepping the secret weapon for a potential new run down the road. Whenever that will be, I have no idea. Maybe harass me on my stream at some point to speedrun these games again. Literally haven't touched these games in several years. Alright, so we gotta go in profile. We gotta go into where it says underwear and remove underwear, and yeah. Enjoy.
Legendary.
Completely harmless, but it's still part of the game. Exactly, Quo. Exactly. We wouldn't do that. Alright, so now we have a new 60-second underwear trap for the next time I decide to do this degen ever run. Hope you enjoyed watching Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. That's the end of degen hour, so enjoy the rest of the marathon.